Hello dear friends, myself Professor Khodde Rishikesh and you are watching BSc Botany Studies Classes channel. Here in this video we are going to discuss the syllabus is presented in front of you where we are talking about the FY BSc semester 2nd, paper number 2nd and credit number 2nd, because first credit already we have discussed. As I have mentioned here, all the videos are available. You can check the playlist, the link is given above the video. And we are going to discuss now the second credit where it is shown that the molecular biology is given to study you. So here we are going to discuss today about the first chapter, that is Introduction, Scope and Central Dogma of Molecular Biology. So with this brief introduction, let's discuss in detail about the introduction, scope and central dogma of molecular biology. So I have written here the molecular biology introduction. So first of all, I would like to tell you that in a typical cell, any typical cell, if you take a plant cell or in any animal cell, you will find there are 4 molecules which are predominant. Means which 4 molecules? You will find protein, you will find carbohydrate, you will find lipids, and finally you will find nucleic acid. These are the 4 molecules which are generally present predominant fashion in the cell. These 4 molecules are known as primary metabolites. Please listen carefully, this is very important whatever I am talking here. These 4 molecules are primary metabolites. Out of these 4 molecules, people have studied extensively which is the genetic material or genetic molecule, and people have found out that the nucleic acid is genetic material containing molecule. But nucleic acid are again of 2 types. First is a DNA and another one is RNA. RNA is not a genetic material, but DNA is a genetic material which is proved. Whatever we are discussing here, already people have discovered and published their study, and we have come to know the conclusion that DNA is genetic material which is nothing but the nucleic acid. Okay, that's it. So introductory point of view, in 1953, please remember this year, in 1953, Watson and Crick, the photograph is indicating about 2 scientists, Watson and Crick, have given the detailed study of organization of DNA as genetic material. How DNA is constructed, what are the constituents which are present inside the DNA. The molecular biology especially deals with this nucleic acid type of molecule in which the DNA are very specifically studied. So you can define molecular biology in such a way that molecular biology is the branch of biology in which that deals with the study of the structure and function of genetic material. When you say the structure, you will have to define the composition units which are present in the DNA, the size of the DNA, the pattern of the DNA, and in case of function, you will have to mention what this DNA do actually. We will discuss about what are the function of DNA later. Here I am talking about just the introduction of molecular biology. So I think I have provided sufficient information about the introduction. So let's discuss about the second point, that is the scope of molecular biology. I will wipe out this. Okay, as I have mentioned here, the scope of molecular biology means what? At which area it is useful to apply the knowledge of this molecular biology. Indirectly you can say why we are studying about molecular biology. So scope are nothing but the applications of molecular biology, you can say, which is very important, and every time you should look at the scope so you can be sure about the importance of the subject. So which are the scope? First of all, by studying the molecular biology, I can be master in finding out the evolutionary relationship between different organisms. What does it means? We have human being, we have chimpanzee in this photograph. Two organisms look somewhat similar to each other and somewhat different from each other. By studying their DNA or genetic material, we can be sure that 99% of their DNA is matching to each other. That's why you can say that they are evolutionary in relationship. So don't get confused, just remember here DNA information can be useful to study evolutionary relationship. Another use is studying molecular biology. By studying molecular biology, I can apply the knowledge of molecular biology in biotechnology. How I can apply knowledge of molecular biology in biotechnology? It is very important to understand. Once you understand the structure of DNA, then only you can cut the DNA, you can paste the DNA, you can transfer the DNA from one cell to the another cell. So for that, for biotechnology practice, you will have to understand first molecular biology. Another application or scope is for genetic engineering. Genetic engineering comes under the biotechnology field. So biotechnology includes plant tissue culture, genetic engineering, various fields in which understanding the molecular biology can be applicable for genetic engineering practice also. You have to remember these points. Another important factor is that understanding the molecular biology, I can apply the knowledge of molecular biology in agriculture field. How I can apply the knowledge? Once I understand which gene is responsible for the size of fruit, which gene is responsible for color of the flower, after that I can apply my knowledge to enhance the size of fruit, to enhance the smell of flower, to enhance the color of flower. For that I should understand first about molecular biology. After that I can apply that knowledge in agriculture field, as well as I can apply this knowledge in environmental field. I am writing the shortcut. Why environmental field I am saying here? Because in environment various different types of pollutions are there. Various different types of things which are needed to be correct. By using molecular biology you can do this. Agriculture, environment, beside that the most important I would say, the knowledge of molecular biology is applicable in medicine field, which is very important. Nowadays you have seen the COVID-19 caused coronavirus, which is, this corona is I think deadly virus, and which can be controlled by the vaccination. For vaccination you will have to understand the genetic makeup of the coronavirus, which is the RNA, not DNA. Some viruses containing genetic material as DNA, some viruses contain genetic material as RNA. AIDS virus containing RNA as genetic material, rabies virus contain RNA as genetic material, coronavirus also contain RNA as genetic material. These viruses are very dangerous. To control these viruses, you will have to understand first molecular biology. What I am trying to tell you here, in medicine field, this knowledge is very applicable. So up till we have seen introduction of molecular biology and scope of molecular biology where we can apply this knowledge. Now we are going to discuss most important point in this chapter, that is central dogma of molecular biology, which is very much important and you will require this information after your BSc also, after your MSc also. So please pay attention, I will wipe out this. Okay, I have written here central dogma of molecular biology. What is this central dogma of molecular biology? You have to understand this first. What happened actually is that In a typical cell, you will find typical eukaryotic cell, this is, or you can say typical plant cell, which is a eukaryotic cell, contain nucleus, contain endoplasmic reticulum, various different organelles, contain Golgi complex, contain chloroplast, contain mitochondria. But this nucleus contain DNA, which is a genetic material of that cell or that individual. DNA is present inside the nucleus, but all other activities, enzymatic activities, metabolic activities are carried out inside this cytoplasm. DNA is present inside the nucleus, activity are carried out outside the nucleus. To carry out all activities, this DNA perform some function. These functions comes under the central dogma category. Means what? DNA is permanent, stable genetic material. This DNA present inside the nucleus creates its small copy of that gene, that is be known as RNA. This RNA is temporary and unstable. Please try to understand what I am trying to tell you here. DNA is present inside the nucleus, perform the function which are taking place outside the nucleus. Means sitting inside the nucleus and doing function outside the nucleus. For that, it has to do some functions which comes under the central dogma. This DNA creates RNA, which is a temporary molecule. DNA personally is permanent molecule, which is very stable, which produces RNA, which is temporary molecule, which is very unstable. These RNA are produced only to perform function. After performing the function, these RNAs are destroyed. DNA do not get destroyed anyhow. So this RNA is synthesized inside the nucleus. Please watch this carefully, whatever I am drawing here. RNA is produced inside the nucleus. This RNA comes out in the cytoplasm. So RNA was produced inside the nucleus, now came out into the cytoplasm, means outside the nucleus you can say. Once RNA came, this is RNA. Once RNA came outside the nucleus, what happened is that the information in RNA is used to produce proteins. These proteins can be an enzyme. Try to understand what I am trying to tell you here. So I will tell you once again from the beginning. DNA is present inside the nucleus, which is very permanent and stable. This DNA produces RNA, which is temporary and unstable. This RNA, after produced inside the nucleus, gets sent outside the nucleus into the cytoplasm. They come outside the nucleus in cytoplasm. Once they come outside the nucleus in cytoplasm, information in this RNA is used to produce proteins. Proteins are produced by the information which are present in RNA, and this RNA is produced by the information which is present in DNA. So indirectly you can say these DNAs are producing these proteins, but DNA do not come outside the nucleus. They produces temporary agent. That agent is we can call as RNA. After protein production takes place, this RNA get destroyed. So you can say central dogma takes place in two steps. DNA produces protein is your target, but for that DNA produces RNA, and RNA information is used to produce protein. When DNA produces RNA, that process is known as transcription. When DNA produces RNA, that process is known as transcription. When RNA is used to produce protein, when RNA is used to produce proteins, the process is known as translation. So there are two steps, transcription and translation. Transcription, in simple word we can say Xerox or photocopy. In transcription, DNA's some information is used to produce RNA inside the nucleus. Transcription always takes place inside the nucleus. Translation always takes place outside the nucleus. Please remember this highlighting point, whatever I am trying to tell you here. In central dogma of molecular biology, if anyone asks you at which area translation takes place, you can say outside the nucleus. In which area transcription takes place, you can say inside the nucleus. The information in DNA is used to produce RNA, that is transcription. These RNA are temporary and unstable. Information in RNA is used to produce protein. These proteins are sometimes enzyme or sometimes structural proteins. The protein perform their function. But whatever information is given is known as central dogma, which takes place in transcription and translation method. And another important point in central dogma is that this DNA produces itself. Means information present inside the DNA is used to produce another DNA when it happens during the cell division. Recall the cell cycle chapter which we have studied. The link for chapter is given above. In that chapter we have said that cell cycle takes place in interphase and M phase. In interphase we have S phase where DNA duplication takes place. That is DNA duplication or DNA replication. I have used different color chalk. Transcription in white color, translation in blue color, and replication in orange color. So you will understand what are the three steps comes under the central dogma. If anyone asks you, write about central dogma, first of all you will have to write central dogma of molecular biology states that the DNA is a genetic material which produces RNA molecule by the process of transcription inside the nucleus. First point it was. In second point you can say RNA molecule exit the nucleus, come inside the cytoplasm and used for production of protein. The process is known as translation. Okay. And third point you can write is that the DNA, that is genetic material, produces another DNA molecule by the process of replication. That is central dogma of molecular biology. I don't think there is any much difficulty remaining in this point. So in molecular biology credit, in first chapter we have discussed about the introduction, scope and central dogma of molecular biology. I think this video will be helpful for you. So please subscribe this channel. We will meet in next chapter. The upcoming chapter will be very difficult or critical. I will try to make them simplify for you. So please attend all the lectures and like the video. Thank you.